Happy to
So
be
we're
here.
going to talk about teaching young learners. I know you are a very successful teacher with our teenagers, students, and I wanted to talk to you, share with you some ideas about what we do at Live English, and maybe help the parents who are listening to us, and maybe the teenagers who want to know more about how they can improve their English. So, learning English for a teenager is not so easy. I mean, you told me in previously when we were preparing the call that at the beginning a lot of your students say yes, no, like they have very short answers, and slowly you manage to find a safe environment for them and allow them to be more talkative. How do you do it? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it happens a lot that nowadays many students are taking English classes at their school, but of course they're in a big group of students and they're mostly focusing on the grammar and the writing. And so normally they don't have a lot of opportunity to actually speak the language.
Right.
So when they are in a conversation for the first time, of course, they're shy, they don't know what to say. And I think what we really offer is this opportunity for them to be in a safe space and to be able to explore and learn how to express themselves. And I think what I do is I get to know the child, I get to know, or the teenager, depending on the age. I get to know their interests, and that's when they really light up, when they start telling me about something they're interested in, and then they feel motivated to find the vocabulary, and we're working together, and that's when their responses start to get bigger and bigger, and
right.
You can really see the growth happening.
Exactly. I get a lot of phone calls from parents during the holidays or in September when they start the school year. Parents who want to help their children improve their English, and they come to us and they really feel this, what you're talking about, that they don't have the opportunity to speak. And it's not a matter of grades, like they genuinely want to improve their English, not just because they want to have better grades for high school. It's really because they feel that English is an important skill to have, and they know that if you can't speak English, it's a big problem for the future. So
yeah, generally, I think the students that come to us are really highly motivated, and they're so immersed in the culture. They're consuming media in English. They want to know what their favorite singer is saying. Many of my students tell me they want to study abroad in a different country. So they're already thinking about their future, and that's a really good thing, because I have other students who are adults, and they tell me, I studied English at school, but I never really learned how to speak it. And now I'm at my job, or now I have this opportunity to go abroad and I can't speak. And so I think it's a great moment when they come to us as teenagers, because we can start helping them right now to improve their English and have more opportunities in the future.
Exactly. But I think also that the kid needs to have a lot of maturity to understand this. Because it's not obvious, some people might prefer to be on the computer and play games, but no, they want to learn English because they understand that it's important for their future. So what do you feel like, if there's a kid who doesn't have the motivation to learn, what can we do about it?
Well, I guess I would start with what you shouldn't do. And I mean, I think you shouldn't force them, because I think they're going to be even more resistant, right? Like if you try to overload them, or if you try to make it seem like an obligation, I don't think that's going to increase their motivation. Like I mentioned before, I think it's important that the students see English as a way to learn more about topics that they're already interested in, right? Like, I had this one student, it was really funny because she wanted to speak about volcanoes. We had an article in the study box about volcanoes, and it turned out that she wants to be a geologist and she's really fascinated about this type of thing. So I think you have to give the kid the opportunity to choose. I mean, to express what they're interested in, and so that they can see, okay, English is a way for me to learn more about this area, this topic, um, instead of kind of making it seem like, okay, we have to learn these grammar
Right,
rules. Or I think they get
exactly.
that at school, right?
They get enough of it at school. Now, I know that like we usually only take teenagers from the age of 12. Um, it has happened that we accept students who are younger than that, but for very specific situations, like kids who came back from relocation in America, for example. But apart from these cases, like the kid has to have some kind of motivation and be able to have a conversation with the teacher, because we really want to make sure that they have the ability to speak, and they're comfortable speaking with someone they don't know.
Yeah,
Now,
definitely.
the idea of learning online is quite interesting for the kids, right?
Yeah, I think at first they're a little uncomfortable, you know, when they meet the teacher for the first time. But also now, you know, teenagers are growing up with technology. So many times I find that they learn, you know, how to use it. Many of my students, you know, once their parents kind of do the initial booking, then the student is in charge of everything else. Like they get everything set up, their computer and everything, because they're so comfortable using that now.
Right, right. Absolutely. I think kids are a lot more comfortable using the technology. And like with adults, we usually advise our students to take two lessons with two different teachers. But with teenagers, I think the policy is more to stick with one teacher, because we really want the teenager to feel comfortable and to develop this nice relationship with the teacher, and that's very important. So tell us, what do you enjoy most about teaching teenagers?
Oh, well, I already mentioned this a bit at the beginning, that I feel like many of my students are really motivated to learn English, and, you know, they're curious about knowing more about the culture. Um, you know, many of them are interested in the music, or they're watching series in English and they're trying to watch with the subtitles and they want to understand what's happening. I have one student who she plays video games, and so she likes to be able to communicate with other gamers in other countries, so they communicate in English. Um, yeah, I think, you know, so much of the media is in English, and they want to be a part of that. And the
Right.
other great thing is that they pick up the vocabulary, they pick up everything so quickly, you know. When I correct them or something, they got it, they respond, you don't need to correct them twice. And it's fascinating to watch them grow, because, for example, I had one student, when she started with me, all of, like you mentioned, all of her answers were like, yes, it was fine, good, no, you know, these one monosyllabic answers. And as we, you know, we started practicing small talk, I asked her, how was your day at school, what was your class, what were your classes like? And we started to have these conversations, and now we've been working together for about 6 months, and it's amazing the difference. You know, it's like a whole, you're talking with a whole nother student now, because I say, hey, how's it going? Oh yeah, I had this, I did this today, I'm going to see my friend this weekend. She can have a whole conversation now.
Amazing,
And
amazing.
yeah, it's so satisfying to see, because you can really see the growth with the teenagers, definitely.
Right. And they grow not just with their English, but also with their character. They know how to lead a conversation, and that's really amazing. That's amazing. For our teenagers and the parents who are listening to us, what's the next step if they want to work on their English, if they want their children to work on their English? What is the first thing to do?
Well, I think the student should sign up for a trial lesson with us, so that they can meet the teacher can speak with them, see where they're at, what's their level, and then we can go from there. I know the parents will want to be with the student, and they should be for the first lesson, so they can meet the teacher and everything. After the initial lesson, I would actually recommend that the parents take a step back. I know it's
Right.
hard. But what tends to happen if the parents stay with the children is that they rely too much. You know, I had one student, for example, in the first lesson, he was just turning to his father like, how do you say this? How do you say this? And that doesn't really help them, you know,
Right.
to
And maybe
increase
sometimes
it.
they're shy. They don't really want to talk and speak English in front of other people. So it's probably
Yeah.
better to leave them alone and talk to them about it after the lesson, see how it went. And of course, we are open to any suggestions. If there's any topic that the kid really wants to talk about, I think it's actually great that they have some passions they want to talk about, so that we can work with the teenager and help them improve their English.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, Liz, for spending some time with us explaining how we work at Live English and how we can help teenagers. And I will speak to all of you very soon. Bye for now.